Welcome back to learning how to learn a language. In the last video, we discussed the idea that connections to food, music, movies, books, people help to create community. Today, let's turn that around and share another truth. Community creates connections. Neural connections, that is. You're probably familiar with the idea that your brain is composed of neurons. And those neurons are, in fact, the basis of our thoughts. In short, electrical impulses travel along our neurons, brain cells, by means of chemicals called neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters pass across synaptic clefts, which are tiny little spaces between the neurons. In a way, you can think of your neurons playing a super speedy game of hot potato, as millions of neurons pass electrical impulses along from one to another until they arrive at their final destination, and once there, get translated into thought. So what does this have to do with community? Well, if you think of your brain as having a network of neural highways, you might recognize that some memories are easier to remember because they are literally easier to get to. Real-life experiences with sights, sounds, and smells reinforce the speed and efficiency of those highways, thus helping you remember an experience. To illustrate, Barbara Oakley tells a story about stinky tofu. Listen in.
The Fengjia Night Market in Taichung, Taiwan is really famous. They have just about everything you could imagine. One evening, you could also have found me there. I ended up at a stall that sold something called stinky tofu. I mean, stinky tofu is tofu that smells obscene. The reality is, though, that it tastes pretty good, kind of like a strong cheese. The thing is, you watching me tell you about stinky tofu is a very different thing from you actually going to the Fengjia Night Market yourself and tasting stinky tofu. It's only when you actively do something yourself that your learning really sticks. Trust me, I'll never forget stinky tofu.
Barbara's story illustrates how much more she recalled when she decided to make a community connection, a real-life experience. And the ability to recall is a crazy important skill in learning a language. To be honest, most of us have major problems remembering the stuff we are learning in a language. So to overcome this problem, remember that when language is connected to sensory experiences, it is more likely to be remembered. To recap, getting out into the community creates sensory experiences, and sensory experiences strengthen neural connections. Thus, when learning a language, remember two truths. Connections create community, but also community creates connections. Thanks for watching.
This is Module 1, Microvideo 2.
In a way, you can think of your neurons playing a super speedy game of hot potato, as millions of neurons pass electrical impulses along from one to another. Let me go back. Just from the beginning. Oh, you are probably familiar.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. The Fengjia Night Market in Taichung, Taiwan is really famous.
Do what you just did, but a little bit slower so that
Okay.
you're pulling one out. Community makes connections. The other one out. Connections make